A homeless teen trying to get his life back on track goes door to door seeking food. Everyone slams the door in his face except a blind woman who is extremely generous to him. The boy never forgets her kindness and repays her years later in the most unexpected way. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Beyond the Ordinary, like, and share this video with your friends. It might brighten their day and inspire them to do good. Nothing comes easy in life, but some people have it far worse. Life throws them into situations that make them ask, "Why me? What did I do wrong to end up here? Was it my fault?" Sadly, that was what Carl was thinking as he sat on a curb, clutching his stomach, attempting to quell his hunger. Carl had been in foster care since he was 2 years old until a judge ordered him to return to his mother Sandra when he was 17. She wasn't the worst Carl had seen in his short life, considering he had once been in the care of a narcissistic woman and later at the hands of a negligent family, but she wasn't the best either. One day, she just kicked Carl out of the house. "You are going back the way you came. Do you understand? There is no place for you here." "But Mom," Carl pleaded. "How can you just? I really don't know where to go, Mom. Please just let me stay here a little longer, and then I'll think of something and leave." But Sandra wouldn't budge. "You and I have no relation whatsoever. I don't want to cause a fuss in front of the entire neighborhood. And don't ever say the word Mom with your nasty lips again." "Out," she yelled as she threw his luggage out and slammed the door in his face. Carl was 17, homeless, and most importantly, hungry. It was winter, and he slept in parks, alleys, and occasionally just by the roadside wherever he could find a spot to sleep. He had no bed, no place to shower or wash his clothes, and no food, and he was facing all of this while he was struggling to get through high school. He didn't want to return to the foster system because it wasn't any good either. Carl wandered the streets for a long time, depressed. He began dumpster diving for food and eating from the charity boxes outside restaurants where people dropped their leftovers. But that wasn't doing any good to Carl, and he felt weak and fatigued. One day, Carl was wandering through a neighborhood when he felt like he would pass out. Despite the cold, he was sweating profusely, and he was starving. He decided to go door to door and ask for food, but his luck was not on his side. "Jesus Christ, stay away from my house. You stink of garbage meat," shouted a woman. "Look, boy, I'm not giving you anything. Get lost," she yelled as she slammed the door in his face. Carl was teary-eyed as he continued to implore the woman even after she shut the door in his face. "Ma'am, a slice of bread will suffice. Please, I beg you," he pleaded. When he didn't hear from her, Carl left for the next door, but there was no luck there either. "You should go to a soup kitchen or something. I'm not doing charity here. With inflation and costs soaring, it's not like we have it easy, boy. Get out of here," a woman told him. Carl walked from house to house, but no one would offer him anything to eat. He was sobbing like a child when he knocked on the 8th door. As the owner answered his knock, Carl fell to his knees. "Just give me some bread," he pleaded. "I'm starving. Nobody is willing to help me. In exchange, I can do whatever you want. I can clean your house. I can do anything." Suddenly, Carl felt a warm hand on his head. "It's fine. You don't have to do anything. Would you like some sandwiches and tea? I just made some, so come on in and join me," she said. Carl looked up and saw a woman wearing thick dark glasses and carrying a cane. "Are you blind?" he asked, sniffing. "Can I help you with something in return? How about we start with tea and sandwiches, and then you can tell me your name and what you do," she grinned. Thank you." Carl sniffed and brushed his tears away with his sleeves. "My name is Carl. Thank you very much." While the two enjoyed tea and sandwiches, the woman introduced herself as Anna. She felt terrible when she learned that Carl's mother had kicked him out of their house after he had left the foster system, and she decided to do something to help him. After they were done eating, she asked Carl for a favor. "If you don't mind, Carl," she said, "would you accompany me to the local church down the street? I'd like to introduce you to someone." "Sure, that's the least I can do for you," Carl replied. When they arrived at the church, Anna introduced Carl to Pastor John and told him his story. Pastor John employed Carl as a part-time caretaker for an orphanage that cared for little children. Carl would have to work 5 days a week and do the cleaning and upkeep, and in exchange, Pastor John offered him a generous compensation. Carl was immensely grateful to them. "Thank you, Anna and Pastor John. You people are literally saving my life. I will never disappoint you." Carl followed through with his promise. He worked hard at the orphanage and didn't disappoint. With the money he earned from his part-time work, he enabled himself to finish high school, and after graduating, he received a scholarship to a prestigious university in another state. All this while, Anna had provided him with food and shelter and became his family. Years later, Carl graduated magna cum laude from his university, and one day he returned to Anna's house. She knew his voice as soon as she opened the door. "Carl, it's you. Oh, I know it's you. How have you been, Anna?" he asked as he embraced her, and she started to cry. "I've been very good. Please come in." Carl told Anna that he had obtained a high-paying job as a software engineer after graduating from college and that he was moving back to her town. "I'm looking for accommodation here, and I have talked to a few people, but first I had to see you and Pastor John, so I came straight from the airport." "You have a home here. Don't be a fool, Carl. You're staying with me, that's it." "But Anna, are you so stubborn to turn me down now?" "Oh well," Carl said, laughing. "No, definitely not. But in exchange, you must make a promise. Well, for that, you need to tell me what it's about first. Anna, please." She laughed, wiping her tears. All right, what is it?" Carl pulled a file from his bag and handed it to her. "It's an appointment for your eye surgery, Anna. I worked a few internships while in college and asked for some advances from my company. Your surgery is paid for. All we have to do is decide on a date." Anna's eyes welled up. "Oh, you didn't. This was unnecessary, honey. You spent all of your hard-earned money on this? Why?" "I have the rest of my life to make money," he said as he held her hands. "Please don't refuse because I really wanted to do this for you. I know I can never repay you for what you did for me, but please, let me do this at least." "Oh, come here," she urged, embracing him. "You have such a kind soul, honey. Thank you very much. Thank you." "I'd say the same thing to you, Anna. You practically raised me when there was no one else to look after me. Thank you." Anna couldn't contain her happiness when she finally saw Carl for the first time after her surgery. "Carl, I can see you. I can see everything," she cried, looking around. "Of course you can, Anna," Carl said and hugged her. "I am so happy for you. I really wanted to do something for the woman who has been no less than a mother to me. I am so happy today.